long as you're always going towards the goal, that's what matters, right?
Yep. Good morning, meat birds. Man, you guys have grown in a week. Good morning, beautiful people. It is a fine August day. We're actually gonna have a heat wave this week, which is kind of a bummer because I've got stuff I need to do outside. So as you just saw, we got our meat birds. We opted to do meat birds once this year, rather than doing, I think usually we do 50 meat birds in spring and 50 in fall. Last year, I think we did 75 twice, and that was actually too many. This year, we decided, why don't we try doing just a fall batch? We'll do 100 birds and basically do them all at once. Well, we got our meat birds. It's all well and good. I pulled our chicken tractors out. These are the Salatin style chicken tractors. Pulled these out yesterday. Because those meat birds need to get out of that brooder, because I gotta clean that brooder. It reeks. Those meat birds have been in there about a week, and 100 meat birds for one little brooder like that is kind of a lot. So as you can imagine, it's pretty rank. Well, I was gonna pull them out and put them in one of these tractors just so I could clean the thing out. And out of all three of my chicken tractors I have, not one of them is fit for birds. You can see this one right here is completely rotted. That one's toast. This one, honestly, we had already patched back together last year. So I knew that this one probably wasn't gonna last. This was the first one we built. Those of you who have been here the longest remember what I built. All three of these actually. These boards, all of this lumber was stuff that came out of the mobile home when we were remodeling. The hinges, the metal, everything was scavenged. This one was the next one I made. I might have bought some of the lumber, but I had a lot of it. Same thing. This one is toast. Completely rotted. So it's kind of a bummer. When I pulled these out yesterday, I was a little bit upset. Each one of them, as I pulled them out of the weeds. You can see all the weeds that had grown up through them as I pulled them out, and they're just like crumbling. I figured I would only get a couple years out of these, and I probably should have checked earlier, but it's been a really busy summer. And here we are headed into fall. It's time for our meat birds. And I don't even have to have a chicken tractor to put them in. But this is all right. We actually talked about what we were going to do last year, and we decided we were gonna change up what we've got. These actually work great. They're great for raising the birds. They're great for moving. They're easy to drag around. The kids usually do all the meat bird chores, and they can drag these around just fine. The problem that we all have, the problem that we have all come to realize together, is come butcher day, you're crawling inside of that cage to grab the chickens that are hiding in the back. I suppose a way around it would be to just take this whole roof section and make it hingeable, so you can open up the whole thing and then reach the entire inside, but these do not do that. The roof is permanently affixed. Yeah, we're all tired of crawling around in the chicken poop, trying to grab those last couple meat birds on butcher day, so we're gonna go with something different. So on that note, I've actually got a trip to Lowe's to pick up some supplies so I can get building, hopefully before it gets too hot. I imagine I'll get home with everything I need about the time it's 1,000,000 degrees down here in front of the barn. So the plan for today is I'm actually going to build the Suscovich style chicken tractors, the kind you can walk inside of. My friend Jason over at Sow the Land, that's the only kind he uses. And I was helping him out, and I did farm chores for him earlier in the summer, and doing meat birds is really nice. Not having to set everything down there. You can walk in there, you can put the feed in. It's pretty cool. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, enough yakking. I'm gonna grab the truck. I'm gonna head to Lowe's. Hopefully I can get everything I need.
Alrighty, well, Ben is out in the wild searching for the things he needs. Hopefully he can find it all. I'm going to be working on all the things that need to be worked on. It is Homestead triage time. It's the season of triage. Basically just kind of going over everything and figuring out what needs to be taken care of right now, what can wait a little bit. And at the moment, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I have a zucchini over here that I'm going to be making into a cake really quick before I get anything else going, I can pop that in the oven. There's peppers that need to be taken care of. There's tomatoes that need to be taken care of. And Brett's beautiful pumpkins that he picked out of his yard. I don't need to take care of those, but I just want to show them off because they're like lovely and beautiful and big. So I'm gonna get started on this zucchini cake first so I can get that in the oven so it can cook while I'm doing other things. And then I think we're gonna tackle the tomatoes because some of them are looking kind of icky. So I think this is actually going to be our one and only zucchini of the year. I planted like 6 plants and they're just not producing. I think they're a little overtaken by the other squash we have going on out there, but I guess that's fine because usually by the end of summer nobody wants zucchini anyways. So I guess we'll just have the one. I still have some in the freezer from last year, so it's okay. Okay, I had enough zucchini to double this recipe, so I'm doing some muffins as well instead of just a cake alone. But you're back. So
I am back. I braved Lowe's and I survived.
you did. Good job.
I only had to substitute a few pieces of wood for something different.
Okay, that's not too bad.
So every time I go, they're out of something or something's different, and I always have to change my list a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I survived. I will prevail.
Okay, I'm proud of you.
All right, I'm gonna steal this camera and head down there and unload all my lumber.
All right.
Look at all these nice places where I can unload lumber to. Who needs sawhorses when you've got busted chicken tractors? I miscounted. I thought I got a dozen boards, I got 11, and I told the lady 12. That was what she charged me for. How do you go back in and say, hey, I told you wrong? And they're gonna look at you all suspicious. Yeah, I realized that as I was loading the truck. It's like, I can't go back in and tell her otherwise. Always double count. There's all the lumber. I think I'm gonna grab the Easy Up and bring the Easy Up down here because it's quite hot down here. Either that or I'm building over on the other side of the barn in the shade. I gotta build me some sort of shade out here. We've talked about either building like a big lean-to off this side of the barn or building a pole barn over this entire area. Just haven't decided yet. Either would work, honestly. Any kind of shade that's an outdoor workspace would be awesome.
Okay, the plan with the tomatoes is a couple of things. So first I'm going to take, most of these are going to turn into sauce or like spaghetti sauce, but I wanted to try putting some dried tomatoes away this year because I kind of want to experiment with trying to make a tomato pie out of dried tomatoes in the middle of winter. We'll see how it goes. That'll be a process that's going to happen later, but what I need to do right now is get them sliced and dehydrated. So I'm just taking the biggest ones, the ones that would make good slices. Some of these are a little yucky, so I'm gonna have to trim off. Yeah, that's a little one. I'm gonna have to trim off some stuff, but I'm just gonna get these basically peeled if the skins are really thick. If they're not too thick, then I'll just leave them and then get them on trays in the dehydrator. Alright, I got 3 trays, not bad, happy with that. So I still have a bunch of tomatoes that I need to get started doing sauce, but one thing I forgot about. So I was sitting here looking for my giant colander to put the tomatoes in so I could wash them, and I was like, where is my colander? I do not see it. It's not up in the stack of bowls where it should be. It's not anywhere in this kitchen. Where is my colander? Oh yeah, it's in the fridge with a bunch of cherries in it. So now the boys are pitting cherries. I totally forgot about them. We got them last week from At Your Standard. I got one more box. My intention was just eating, but they aren't quite like fresh eating quality. They're a little soft. So I got them washed, and in the fridge, totally spaced it. So now the boys are pitting for me, and I guess I'm gonna be making cherry jelly today. Jam. Yay, one more thing to add to the list. It's okay, it's fine, it's all good. So while they're doing that, I'm going to get started with these tomatoes. I'm gonna make a batch of spaghetti sauce, which is going to entail tomatoes and onions and peppers getting cooked together at first. And then I gotta like run them through the food meal and do the whole thing. So I'm gonna get started on that while they're doing the cherries. And then when they're ready with that, I guess I'll make cherry jam.
All right, back in the house, had lunch.
Yep.
You're moving on to tomatoes.
I am.
I noticed there's like bags starting to come out of the fridge.
Freezer.
Or the freezer.
Yep.
We're going to have to deal with peppers. We've got peppers everywhere.
Yes.
Like, everywhere I look, there's peppers.
I know. Some are going into the sauce, but then cachucas will have to go into the freezer for use later.
As soon as we have enough.
Yeah.
Which I do believe we are nearing.
I think we are.
All right. Today is getting away from me majorly. Like, I got a decent start this morning, and
You did.
like,
You were on a roll this
yeah,
morning.
and then like we've just had thing after thing pop up. Had to run an errand after I got back with wood, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, now it's lunchtime, so I had to eat some lunch real quick. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna head down there, and if I get work done, cool. I guess I gotta explain the scenery. People might notice there's some new stuff right here in front of the barn. We went to an estate sale, and the guy was a metal worker, and I bought a whole bunch of scrap metal. Like a whole bunch. Scrap. It's not scrap. Most of it is like full-length pieces, pretty much every shape and size you can imagine. This is like offcuts. That would probably qualify as scrap, but a whole bunch of nice usable stuff. And I got it for cheap, like really cheap. So I went from never having any scrap steel around to now I have tons of scrap steel around. All the remnants a person could want for. All right, time to start bringing wood over here, get cutting. Alright, I gotta find a faster way to lap those. That's ridiculous. So I've tried a couple different ways to make this little lap, I guess, how this is all gonna fit together. I tried the bandsaw, and I am like running low on bandsaw blades. Mind you, this is a metal cutting bandsaw, so it runs really slow. All I have is a fine-tooth blade on this thing, and it honestly is faster to use the table saw to just, you know, slice the material out and then chip it out. So I'm just going to continue with that. It's going to be, I think I have a dozen pieces that I have to do that with. So it's going to be a long, arduous process. So I'm just going to put my headphones in and go. Alright, I'm gonna go up into the air conditioning and cool off. Did you get your boots? Okay, come on. Let's go cool down.
I pet a kitty.
You pet the kitty? Okay, can we open the door so kitty can go eat? There you go.
There you go.
That is a lot of sauce,
It
lady.
is a lot of sauce. I put it in the big pot and it was starting to burn on the bottom, and it's hard to really like stir that and get it all going around. So I'm just gonna put this in the roaster oven to get it all softened, and then I can run it through the food mill. This always takes me way longer than I think it will. It's been like 2 hours and I'm just now simmering it.
It does smell good.
It smells amazing.
Peppers, onions, tomatoes, garlic. So those look beautimous.
They do. They're pretty tasty too.
Is this
Yeah, that's like
the extra? Ooh, it's setting up already.
it is.
Ooh,
You like it?
ooh, that's good.
Good. Not bad for basically just having to save an entire bowl of jelly or cherries that I forgot about.
I wondered, you know what? You put those, got them all processed last week, and then we had the weekend, and it was a busy weekend.
It was very busy.
I don't think I've really talked about
What?
everything that's been going on. A little bit of story time. So we kind of have a small addiction.
It's not addiction yet.
We've discovered estate auctions.
Oh my gosh.
We really enjoy estate auctions.
really.
Whether or not we buy anything, like if they're kind of close, we'll go.
Yeah, like even the kids
Yeah,
really enjoy
even the
estate
kids.
auctions.
So last year I got my smoker at an estate auction. We've picked up various pieces of stainless like cabinets and tables and that kind of thing.
And kitchenware.
And kitchenware. There's been all sorts of stuff that we've picked up for nothing, honestly.
Yeah.
Some stuff where nobody bids on it, so you bid it and get it for $10.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Dirt cheap.
Like, we love being thrifty, and going to an auction, it's kind of like the next level of thrifty.
It is. It's very exciting. And there's like thrill of the chase with it. Like there's a battle that goes on.
like if you get into a bidding war and it's like, you know, keep bidding, and then, you know, you sold to whatever your number is for, you know, $30. It's like, yes. All right, I'll walk out here and show you what I got this weekend. So if you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that we sold the majority of stuff that we had back in California so we could leave California and travel the country. Like my smoker, that's a good example. I picked this smoker up last year and it has been great. I had one a lot like it that I had built, and I ended up selling it to a friend, and I've kicked myself ever since because it was a good smoker. You know, I built it. Well, one of the things we got rid of too was our grill. We haven't had a grill since we moved out here. I got this. I mean, it's a pretty nice grill, huge grill. It's missing 2 knobs. I can deal with that. I actually think I can order those, but yeah, great big grill, great big cooktop. Came with a griddle that was down underneath. Everything on it is stainless, which is cool. It's got a side cooker. I mean, it's a grill, but I got it for $70. So I'm pretty happy about that. So, as I was telling the people, stuff like that we keep finding. We used to have Sanity Saturdays.
Yeah.
We would go to antique stores and thrift shopping back when we were still stuck in the trailer. And I guess this is just the next level.
Yeah.
Now we go to auctions. It is now pretty much dinner time.
Yeah,
pretty close to it. I think I'm gonna go down there and put away my tools just in case it decides to rain. I don't think it's going to.
Unless you leave your tools out.
But if I leave my tools out, it's a guaranteed like awesome thunderstorm.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, like normally I would go out and finish it after dinner, but tonight is podcast night.
Yeah.
Me, Jason from Sow the Land, and Al Lumna. We all have a podcast together. It's called Homestead Shop Talk. We just sit around and talk shop.
Yeah.
Talk about what we've got going on. It's been a pretty fun podcast. Kind of feels like guy time. Like I think we've all been having a lot of fun with it. So that'll take up the rest of my night.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
All right, I'm gonna go clean up.
All right.
So for dinner, I see some pasta.
Yep.
Some macaroni noodles.
Yeah, and beef. So just cheeseburger mac. Nothing crazy.
Cheeseburger mac.
Quick and easy. I have not gotten done nearly anything that I wanted to get done today.
But isn't that like the story of life?
It kind of is, yeah.
You have all these plans for the day. It's like, I'm gonna get this done and that done. Like, I had the same day.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna get this chicken tractor done in one day.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Nope, I'm not even, I feel like I haven't even started. I cut some wood.
It's on its way. My tomato sauce is on its way. Like, we're doing all right.
All right.
The point is that you just keep working towards it. You keep going. As long as you're always going towards the goal, that's what matters, right?
Yep. Just keep plugging away.
Yeah.
I guess I'll get the table cleared off. All right, dinner was good. See,
good.
no rest for the weary.
I know. It's all right. I did get some things done today, so it's all right. I just don't feel as accomplished as my Monday morning self was thinking I would be.
I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes, though.
Yep. It's all right.
All right, dinner was awesome.
Yes.
Guess I get to now set up the computer and do the podcast.
Yeah.
So, check it out if you guys want. We will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.